When I give public talks on A Course in Miracles, I often tell my audience that A Course in Miracles is a phenomenon because it has sold millions and millions of copies all over the world, but hardly anybody has read it. And that's because, it's a mighty tome. There are 669 pages in here of text, and then another 500 pages or so of workbook, and after that there are all of the supplements as well. And there are just days when this mountain of a book can feel too intimidating to reach for and to be with. And because of that, I decided to create this book, Holy Shift, 365 Daily Meditations from A Course in Miracles. Now, the thing about this book is that there is a commentary at the beginning of the book by me, which is several pages long, which gives you an outline of the essential intention and theology of A Course in Miracles. But after that, what I have done is to present A Course in Miracles in the form of a day book. So there is a passage for every day of the year. And the passages, they follow the narrative of the workbook. But the passages don't just come from the workbook. They also come from the text and from the manual for teachers. So for example, if there's a workbook lesson for today on forgiveness, then it may well be that I've picked the passage either from the lesson for today, or I picked a passage on forgiveness from the workbook, from the text, or from the manual for teachers. So in this way, I'm sharing with you some of the most sort of powerful and meaningful passages of the book, but in a daybook form. The other thing that I did was that I presented the passages not in paragraph form, not as prose, but as poetry. And so this way, there's much more space on every page. I wonder if you can see. So, for example, these pages that I have in front of you now, those would have appeared in A Course in Miracles as paragraphs. All I've done is rearrange the paragraph as you would for a poem. And I haven't changed any wording, any grammar whatsoever. I've just created space between the sentences and in the paragraph, rearranged the prose as a poem so as to make it even easier to read. A lot of A Course in Miracles is written in iambic pentameter, which is one of the meters for sonnets and poems. There's also so much metaphor and symbolism within the prose of A Course in Miracles that if you're like me, after a couple of paragraphs, you feel suddenly as if you're in the middle of an epic poem, like the Bhagavad Gita, or like the Iliad, or Ulysses, and you're completely lost. So actually, just having this book to be able to dip into each day was I think for me, it was very, very helpful. And therefore, I was hoping it would be helpful to everybody else who wants to experience A Course in Miracles. Think of Holy Shift as a homeopathic version of A Course in Miracles. And let me just, also what I like to do sometimes is just flick the book for a bit and then find a passage and just pick it open. And let's just see what this one says. Okay, ready? So I've picked, it's actually July the 30th. When God gave himself to you in your creation, he established you as host to him forever. He has not left you, and you have not left him. All your attempts to deny his magnitude and make his son hostage to the ego cannot make little whom God has joined with him. Every decision you make is for heaven or for hell, and bring you the awareness of what you have decided. So it gives you an example of one. Let me just do one more for fun. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not harder or bigger than another. They are all the same. All expressions of love are maximal. Okay, one more. See, this is fun. I like doing this because in a way it just, yeah, it really just makes the course so much more accessible. Perception is a mirror, not a fact. And what I look on is my state of mind reflected outward. I would bless the world by looking on it through the eyes of Christ. One more, just on the other page. Watch with me, angels, watch with me today. Let all God's holy thoughts surround me and be still with me while heaven's sun is born. Let earthly sounds be quiet and the sights to which I am accustomed disappear. Let Christ be welcomed where he is at home, and let him hear the sounds he understands and see but sights that show his Father's love. Let him no longer be a stranger here, for he is born again in me today. So this is Holy Shift, and I think it's really is a wonderful companion for A Course in Miracles, and particularly very, very good for when you want to practice A Course in Miracles, but are feeling rather intimidated by this great, huge tome, which we all do feel about sometimes. Okay, see you again soon.